Hi, good afternoon, everybody. As promised, I'm going to give you sort of a bi-weekly update regarding the liquid diet. Um, it's day 4, and so far things are pretty good. I wanted to first, in the very beginning stages of this video, take the opportunity to give a mention to the fact that it is Remembrance Day in Canada. And I normally would not be wearing lipstick like this at home, except that my husband was asked to give a presentation to one of the local schools, one of them that my youngest actually is still attending, about Remembrance Day and what it means to recognize our veterans who've served and those who are currently serving, particularly those in Afghanistan. So everybody was donning their poppies today. It's something that I don't think you do a lot of in the States without, wearing a poppy on your lapel. I know that in England they still do that, and I know that you do honor your veterans in the United States. But today was a special day, so thank you to all the Canadian veterans out there and to the men and women who are currently still serving, and in particular those who are fighting at present. To improve the quality of life of so many around the world who are not as fortunate as us in North America, Canada, and the United States in particular. So now that I've kind of gotten that off my chest, because it is a day that means a lot, my husband has served in the Canadian Navy as a naval officer for 30 years. So that makes me a military wife, and I have lived all over and away from my family and made the sacrifices to support him in his career, and I'm really proud of him for that. So thanks to Bruce for protecting us and representing his country. So moving on to sort of the good, the bad, and the ugly about liquid diets. Um, the good part, the good is that it's not really as bad as I thought it was going to be. I can't really say that I'm hungry at all. Um, the liquid diet that we are using at the hospital that I'm having my surgery at the weight management clinic in Ottawa, is Optifast 900, and it's a chocolatey shake. They have vanilla too, but I don't really like vanilla. Although I'm kind of regretting and wish that I had just tried some for a little bit of variety. But I just had all chocolate. I'm fine with that. It's not. It's a bit on the sweet side, but if you add a bit more water, then it's not as bad. So I have one of these packets mixed with water 4 times a day, sort of at breakfast, at lunch, at dinner, and sort of one in the evening as a snack. As well, in throughout the course of the day, I can also have a beef or chicken broth, and I can have Jello. That's sugar free, of course. And I can also have added into water sort of the little individual packets that are flavored, which is quite lovely. It makes a nice little treat and trying to get your fluids in. And supposed to consume at least 3 liters of water. So I've been averaging about 4. And the weight, when I first got on the scale on Monday, I was 260, and this morning I was 255. So 4.5 pounds is nothing to sneeze at in 4 days. And as I say, I'm not really hungry at all. Although I get into the bad, the good, the bad, the ugly. Okay, so the bad part of it is that I don't know. There's not really any bad part of it. Uh, oh, okay. I would consider this more the ugly. The ugly part. About 3 o'clock every day when my little kids, when my babes start coming home from school, between sort of 3 and 6 o'clock, is probably the most vulnerable time for me. And not that I have had anything to eat because it's sort of forbidden, and I do play by the rules, and I'm willing to do that um, in the name of my health. But getting kids snacks after school and then preparing dinner, that's kind of the bad and the ugly all rolled into one, because that's tough. I'm finding that's really hard. um, and it's hard not only for me, I think it's hard particularly on my youngest, who you have to take into consideration that all 3 of my kids have seen their mom go through more than most kids see their whole parents go through in a lifetime. We I had cancer I'm 3 years out, but I did lose both breasts and lost my hair from chemo and the eyebrows, the eyelashes, the whole 9 yards. And um, it was a lot for my kids to go through and to see. And my first day of chemotherapy, they lost a good friend at school, a classmate who died of brain cancer the same day I started my chemo. So they had to deal with a lot with a parent being sick. And so they're having a little bit of a hard time. Not so much my 13-year-old twins, that they're a boy and girl, but my youngest in particular is a little bit weirded out by the fact that I just really can't eat any food. But I do make it a priority to still sit with them at the dinner table, because we always have had dinner time together, and that's a really important thing, to talk about each other's days and whatnot. And I don't want to rant on about this too long, but the youngest is having a little bit of a hard time trying to sort out what things are going to be like after the surgery. So yeah, so I would roll that into, that's the bad and the ugly all into one, and that's really my only complaint, is that it's a challenge, but I'm doing it and managing just fine. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, I don't know if I had mentioned in my first video that at my highest weight I was 270, and that was post chemo. I at my best, or my healthiest weight, I was about 145. This was before I had the twins, in my mid 20s, and but it was also when I was competing nationally for skating, so I was in pretty good shape. Um, yeah, and then I had the twins, and I gained 40 pounds, but lost all of it but 10. But when I had the third, the twins were only 2 when I got pregnant again, and even though I nursed her for a full year, I ended up in about hovering around 200. And then when I had my chemo, I was about 230, and I've just been sort of steadily gaining until just the last year or two, when I've gained a lot of weight. A lot. Thank you, prednisone. Thank you, chemotherapy. Thank you for throwing my body into menopause at 38 years of age. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's the ugly. Um, yeah, so I will do another update later in the week, should time prevail for that. And that's about all that I have for now. So till next time, cheers, and have a good week, everyone, and a great weekend coming up too. Bye.